I will now take you through the Excel file that is part of the material that you have been provided, and this is how we record the decisions of each team and to record the standings and the outcome. If you look at this example that I have on the screen, this is a game we played earlier and we had 5 teams. And you can change the number of teams up to the upper right by clicking. You will see the boxes disappearing. Now it's 1 team, and we go back to the 5 teams. You can also, in the column, see the decisions that each team has made for each phase. Those are the gray fields where you will find A, B, or C. If we take an example, the first team, scenario number 2, if I change that to C, you will see a red box down in the lower end of the team 1's column. That means that they have used more resources than they can. So that's a way to check how many resources you can use. You can also see that you get a red box for phase 2 and scenario 2. That means that the C option wasn't available in the first phase, so there has been an error. So whenever you see a red box, that means that an error has occurred. We'll go back to the right. Should be like that. So when you have filled in for the first phase, you then go to the box to the right and you click the arrows and you go to phase 2. There you will see what cards each team should get in the next phase, in this case in phase 2. If we look at the boxes on top of the page, the first one is standings. You press that one when you want to show how the teams are doing in respect to each other. Set screen means that the program will check what kind of computer you are using, and you will always get the full page depending on what computer you're having. Reset screen is when you want to get into the ordinary Excel mode. And manual adjustments is when you want to do a manual correction, for instance, when the team has changed gross profit into contingency. I will come to that just a little bit later. So important here is the box to the right. That is where you see the new cards that you are going to use in the next phase. If we then look at the standings, this is what that will look like. After phase 1, this is team 1 has a score of 44, team 2 47, team 3 43, team 4 43, and team 5 47. So team 2 and number 5 are at the moment in the lead. You can also see here how much contingency they have left. You can see the gross profit at the moment, and you can see what the effect has been on the client in the first phase. So as you see here, a lot of them has negative values, which means that the client is not very happy at this stage. Below that, you have the project team satisfaction. Some are a bit negative, some is at 0. Below that, you have the schedule, and there has been no impact at all for the schedule after phase 1. Up in the right corner, you have a little box where you can show score, or you can de-tick it, and then you will not see the score. This is if you decide not to show how the teams are standing in respect to each other at every stage. You can choose when you want to show that to keep the competition at a high level. I tick that one now to show it, and then as you saw in the first page I showed, we have filled in the whole game. So this is a finalized game, and you can then, by clicking the box up to in the upper left corner, standing after face, and if I tick that, you can see how the standing changes for each phase. And standing after phase 6, that is the end of the game. And you can then see that the winner in this example is team number 3. They had a score of 61. Followed by team 4, which have 58. And then, well, and team 2, which have 53, and then team 4 on 52, and team 1 on 49. And you can see here that there's only one negative part remaining, and that is for team 1, -2 on the schedule. The rest are doing pretty well. And the gross profit is between 45 between 45 and 50, which looks pretty good. And the contingency has been almost used in every team except for team number 5 that has a 4. If we then want to do this manual adjustment, in this example, that means that the teams, in this case team 1, team 2, and team 3 and 4, have decided to use gross profit and moving it from gross profit to contingency. Team 1 has used 2, which gives them a -2. That then again makes the project team satisfaction go down to -2 and contingency to increase by 2, and so on for the other teams. So this is a way of correcting the standings depending on what actions the teams have been doing. If we go back to the input, again, as you can see on this screen, all teams have finalized all the phases, and their decisions are shown in the gray boxes. From the example I showed you earlier, I will now show a graph which shows the standings for all the teams after the 6 phases. And as you can see here, team number 3 are the winning ones, and they have 61 points. You can also see that most of the teams have had a decrease from the beginning until phase 2, when most of them are then improving. It is though interesting to see that the winning team, team number 3, already after phase 1, they have an upgoing trend all the way to the leading position. And you can see a team like team 1, they are doing quite well up to phase 4, and then they have a dip in phase 5, and then getting back on track in phase number 6. So this is part of the Excel sheet, and this is a good way of showing the standings between the teams. You can choose yourself if you want to show it after each phase, or if you want to do it on a bigger span, like after phase 3 and then at the end after phase 6. That is totally up to you as a facilitator. And with this, I just want to say good luck with your own game, and try to beat 61.